Welcome back. Let's talk about age appropriate adaptations when it comes to sex conversations. So, we are just talking about how you will adapt your teaching or your conversations to fit or suit the different age categories of children represented in your home, the things you can do to make your conversations or teachings more effective. Okay, so for if you have preschool aged children ages 3 to 5, you have to be incorporating more songs and movement. Very important, because first of all, their brain, they have short attention span. Okay, short attention span, and they are easily distracted. So the songs keep them focused, and the movement also maintains their focus and concentration. And the songs will also help them remember the concepts that you're teaching. Incorporate puppet play if it's available, right? If you can get puppets, they will really be handy for your conversations with your preschoolers. Focus on simple, concrete concepts. It's not time to be to be complex, or to say things that are complex, but they'll be simple and they will be concrete. Okay, it's simple enough to talk to your 3 to 5 year old in the language, in the proper body anatomy language. It's simple enough to call their vulva and their penis, okay, even as they are 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. It's simple and it's concrete. It's simple enough to talk about toys, because they can relate with toys that they play with. It's simple enough to talk about their bodies not being a toy for play for both them and other people. All right. So use lots of positive reinforcement to keep it going, and to keep it really effective. Keep language very basic. You don't need complicated language. You don't need something, you know, of course, you know that at that age, they can only understand simple language. Repeat key phrases often, right? So toddlers, that's how they are really being taught all that time. You just keep repeating key phrases often, on and often. Now let's talk about early elementary ages 6 to 8. You're not going to introduce more interactive activities, art work, you know, more conversational. Use story-based learning. Like if you see the book I wrote for them, the Body Safety Bible for Young Children, it's just full of stories. Every concept is taught with a story, because there's something stories do for children. By the time you say Ruth is a 9-year-old girl or a 6-year-old girl in basic two, in grade two, and she was experiencing so and so, or Ade is a 7 year, a 10-year-old boy whose classmates were laughing at. These are things they can relate with, and it would help them to keep concepts internalized for a very long period of time. Introduce simple role play. You can't do sex conversations effectively without role play, right? You need to role play actions, you need to role play assertive communication, you need to role play resistance, refusal skills, you need to role play a lot of things. Now begin using proper terminology. At this age, you don't need to cover a lot of things that you're talking about. You don't need to shade them off. You need to use the proper terminologies for their body parts, for actions and activities. Add basic scripture memorization. Even from age 5, they can start memorizing scriptures. Remember, your word have I hid in my heart that I may not sin against you. So, memorization provides a very good opportunity for your children to memorize the scriptures to keep them safe whenever they need it. Include more detailed explanations. Now, for older elementary, 9 and above, add more complex scenarios. I keep talking about children facing complicated scenarios, scenarios that young university ladies used to face in those days. They are scenarios that children of 10 years, 12-year-olds are facing. You can imagine that. So begin to incorporate those complex scenarios. Imagine the story of Diana visiting a guy with her friends, with her girlfriends, and ended up being raped. Those are scenarios that children face in real time, okay? Include technology safety. Of course, you should have started that earlier on because a lot of children are already into technology even before age 9. Discuss peer pressure because at this psychosocial stage, they are more tilting, they tilt more to their peers, all right? They are more influenced by their peers than their parents. So talk about that a lot. Add incorporate journaling, right? Because you'll be talking a lot about emotions because of course they're tending towards puberty, so they'll be able to journal their emotions and the things that they learn about themselves. Include more scripture study, in-depth scripture study. All right. So we have do in-depth scripture study in my home, and a lot of lessons are gleaned from there. There is no other place that has so much to say about sex, about experiences, about pitfalls than the Bible, right? Than the Bible. Okay, and of course, address more what if situations. Address more what if situations during conversations. What if you find yourself in a situation like Diana? What are you going to do? What if you find yourself in a situation where you're just alone with a boy or a girl and the atmosphere is just feeling unsafe? What are you going to do? So incorporate more what if situations in your conversations at this age. All right, so in the next one video, we're going to talk about managing difficult moments. You don't want to miss it.